Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the coffee stream, and it is Mobility Monday. I apologize that it is later than usual, but hey, better late than never, right? I hope you guys had a good weekend, and if you are like me in Canada, that I hope you guys are having a good Thanksgiving, and that you are having lots of yummy food and all of that good stuff. Elwin says gobble gobble, and I say gobbles back to you. Yes, gobbles. That is a South Park reference. Good old gobbles. So, as I said, it is Mobility Monday, and we are going to talk about some. I think Alex Jones is playing along because he uncovered unclassified or classified information. Oh, that's right. His trial is still going on, isn't it? So I do have a couple of articles for us today. But the first one I'm going to read is not necessarily disability related, but I'm going to read it anyway because I covered the Apple event in September, and they unveiled a feature called car crash detection. And I specifically said during that stream, and I can't for the life of me, like I was having some stomach issues, so I didn't go and get the clip. But I remember saying on stream that I'm like, what if you're in an amusement park? What if you're at on a roller coaster or something and your phone mistakes the roller coaster for a car crash? Well, dear viewers, apparently I was more on the ball than I thought because apparently, according to PC Mag and The Verge and a whole bunch of other magazines, um, that's exactly what's going on. So let's take a quick look, shall we? Let's take a quick look at this article. Here we go. So this, as I grabbed the PC Mag version. So apparently, iPhone 14 crash detection calls 911 on roller coasters. Apple's testing of the new feature clearly didn't involve testing at amusement parks or having fun. Yeah. Apparently, because that's too funny. That's just too funny. Oh my god. Like, wow. Mobility Monday. Yes. We're talking about usually disability stuff, but just for this one article, we're talking about this. Because as I said, I covered the Apple event, and when they revealed this feature, I specifically asked about roller coasters. So, yeah. Okay, let's take a look. Apple's crash detection feature on iPhone 14 thinks some roller coaster rides are a severe car crash and proceeds to call 911. As the Wall Street Journal reports, there have been multiple incidents where an iPhone 14 has contacted emergency services during a roller coaster ride, communicating the message to the departments. The user of this iPhone has been in a severe car crash and is not responding to this phone. Oh shit. Oh my God. I called it. I literally called it. I knew this would happen. I was like, what about roller coasters? What about those like tilt-a-whirl rides? Like, shit, man. What if you're mountain biking and you're like going on a really, really, like, really high hill, and then you come down the other side and you're going fast. What if it detects that as a car crash? Like, oh my God, that's. You can hear an example of the call being made in a tweet below, which also contains the sound of people enjoying the roller coaster ride in the background. Okay, we're taking a look at this. Joanna Stern. This is Joanna Stern. This is a verified account. Since the iPhone 14 went on sale, the 911 dispatch center near Kings Island amusement park has received several calls. Has received at least 6 phone calls saying the owner of this iPhone is in a severe car crash, except the owner was just on a roller coaster. Here's the video. Costin. So here's what it sounds like.
The owner of this iPhone was in a severe car crash and is not responding to the phone. The emergency location is latitude 49.3411, longitude minus 84.2689 with an estimated search radius of 6 meters. This message will receive in 5 seconds.
You can literally hear the roller coaster.
The owner of this iPhone was in a severe car crash and is not responding to their phone. The emergency location.
That's hilarious. Oh my God. Oh, Apple. Why must you do things like that? Like, why would you not test things fully? Like, why would you not at least send it through a couple of roller coasters to show it what that was like? Because there's a difference in the G-forces between a drop from a roller coaster and an impact from a car crash. So, like, you need to differentiate between that. And you played it millions of hours of car crash noises, so why didn't you bother to play, some hours of amusement park noises so it knows the difference? Why are the children fighting in my bedroom? Is another question I would like to know. Okay. Moving on. So we are going to move on to a slightly more serious story. And then we'll go back to some of the funnier stuff. So there is and there has been a lot for a while since the medical assistance in dying thing has come to Canada. Worries that it will be used to weed out the disabled or the poverty stricken. And this is a YouTube video from Global News, I believe. Let me check. It's an 11-minute video. So we're going to take a look at this. We'll put that in theater mode for everybody. And I will go share this. It's called How Poverty, Not Pain, is Driving Some. Sorry, let me get the actual title here. So I can actually. How Poverty, Not Pain, is Driving Some Disabled Canadians Towards Medically Assisted Death by Global News. So we're going to go and share this and take a listen. As I said, it is an 11-minute video, but of course we will be stopping and starting as transformative content requires. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so here we have this Global News video, and I believe I have put it into the correct mode for you guys to see it, because children are evil. That is a good reason, Costin. Okay.
Hello, you've reached the Provincial Health Services Authority telephone line for medical assistance in dying.
The countdown to Joni Cowie's death has begun.
Your call is important to us.
If you call the number on the government website, they will provide doctors that will sign off for you.
Like many disabled Canadians.
No, okay, no. No, first of all, it's not just, hey, I want to die. Okay, here you go. Like, you have to. It's okay, Blake Star. I just started. You're only about 10 minutes late. But yeah, you like you need to have terminal illness. You can't just be like, hey, I want to die, but I don't want to do it myself. Can you do it for me? Like, that's not how it works.
She is stuck in a cycle of poverty and despair.
It's no hope for anybody in Ontario. That's a good boy.
So she's planning to end her life with the government's help.
They can have me dead in 90 days.
This is insane. Hello?
Hello.
What is it?
I'm the cook.
Are you dressed? Well, does Daddy know you're down here? Close the door. So, yeah. If there are no checks and balances for this, and it's, I'm poor, so I want to die, and doctors are signing off on that, that's not okay. Because the government should not be helping you if you are depressed because you're poor. And I trust me. Okay. Me and Pincalo have been in a pretty dark places before, where we haven't eaten for days. And our cats haven't eaten. And we've been worried about being on the street because we literally were like, how are we going to pay rent? Okay. But if we choose to end our lives because of that, that should be something that we should do. That's not something the government should be doing. Like, if you have cancer or ALS or something, I understand, like, medically assisted death. But, and this is going to sound really, really horrible, but if you are despairing and depressed because you're poor, the government shouldn't be ending your life. You should, if you want to die. And if you don't want to die, then don't do it. If you feel that, like, if you're trying to say that I feel like I have no other option but to die, there's always another option. Always. And we shouldn't just be always shitting on the government for the fact that people are despairing in poverty. We should also be looking at the breakdown of the family unit. And I don't just mean the immediate family unit. I mean the family unit. Because it used to be that unless you were like absolutely destitute and you had nobody, you could like cousins, aunts, grandparents, uncles, somebody could somebody might have a job for you somewhere. Or maybe you could, crash in Aunt so-and-so's basement and help her around the house because she's elderly. Like the breakdown of the family unit is another huge, huge problem in society, with the fact that not just disabled people don't get the help they need, but everybody doesn't get the help they need. We have in Western society been so focused on get the kids the fuck out of the house when they're 18 and basically fuck you, you're on your own after that, that we have lost sight of how to teach people how to be independent, but also how to come together and help each other when things are dire. And that is not a government issue. That's a society issue. And to sit there and blame the government and blame the fact that we have this program to help terminally ill people, no, there should be better checks and balances. And we as a society need to do better at teaching ourselves what a family means. Oh, I just choked on my coffee. A family doesn't just mean create the next generation of humans, get them out of your house, and then do whatever the fuck you want until you die. A family means create the next generation of humans, but then also be there for that next generation of humans until you die. And then that way, that next generation of human is also there for you in your later years. That's what a family is. It's not whatever the fuck is going on right now. Hi, Selective Boy. Glad to have you here.
That's what I was told.
Like in my case, the problem is not really the disability. It is the poverty.
Les Landry is in the same position, wanting to live, but seeing no other option than death.
But where do you live? Does your region have, because everybody goes for the provincial programs and shit. Has anybody checked out the regional programs for housing, for food? Because if you're in dire need, you get bumped up to the top. Have any of you tried these things?
For my asthma. This is for my COPD. Since when did we stop looking at the value of human life in this country?
It's a question people with disabilities and their advocates ask constantly.
We can organize medical assistance in dying in approximately 2 weeks in a very organized and efficient manner. Yet it is so difficult to get my patients the social support that they need to live well. That is morally distressing.
Morally distressing. And the award for understatement of the year goes to you, sir. Holy fuck. Morally distressing. The fact that not only does the social safety programs not exist or are not bolstered properly by the government, but the fact that the societal breakdown of the family unit is so fucked up that people are considering dying instead of getting help from family members. That's morally distressing to you. How about that is a huge breakdown of society. Well, if the Canadian government had its way, every one of us on ODSP would have us bumped off. I don't think it's that bad. But this is definitely not okay. This attitude is not, no. Morally distressing.
From her home in Windsor, Ontario, Joni deals with the grinding financial pain of living in poverty during an affordability crisis, compounded by the physical pain of disability.
I have severe asthma that's turned into COPD and Guillain-Barré syndrome, as well as cancer. I also just recently fractured my back. I'm tired a lot.
She's
The pain
terminally
is
ill then.
excruciating. You told me.
Joni lives with her 3 dogs and her daughter, who is also disabled. They have no family support, so they have to find a way to survive on $1,228 a month Joni gets from Ontario's Disability Support Program, plus a few $100s more for her daughter.
Yeah. So if you're a disabled kid, you don't get the full, which you should. Like, kids should actually get more. If they're disabled kids should get more because it costs more to raise kids. It costs more to clothe and feed children. Plus, a lot of disabled kids have extra expenses that they need. People on ODSP are politically useful. Yep. Hey, Gunfox. I had a nurse. I had a nurse show me how to properly slit my wrists with a pen. She asked how I could properly get psychiatric care. Jesus. Hey, you're at work. Glad to see you here, Gunny.
Even with subsidized housing, it's not nearly enough.
We have about $59 left to buy groceries in a month.
Yeah.
Because our home, we have to have housing insurance, rent, hydro is high, gas is high. I get angry at people who say you need to budget better because I just want to say to them, go to hell.
How are you supposed to budget when all of your stuff that you're like, it's not like they're buying extra shit. Like, you have $59 for a month. How the fuck are you going to budget better to get food to last you a month?
I really do. And I don't swear very often.
Here's the thing. Joni's financial struggle is not at all unique.
Nope.
During the pandemic, the government decided working Canadians needed at least $2,000 a month to live, while the disabled were forced to get by on much less.
Yep. And here's the thing. Because Pincalo works for himself, I only get $460 a month. Okay. I'm responsible for paying the rent. So I have, between disability and the child tax credit, I have $1,400 a month. Our rent is $1,800. I also have to pay my credit card, my half of the phone bill, portion of the hydro, and all that, right? So then Pincalo has to send me like $200 or $300 a week so that the rent gets covered, because my check is not enough to cover the rent. Yeah, that's how much she has left over after paying. So in total, she gets $1,200 a month. And even on subsidized, so a subsidized house, your rent is still going to be probably about $800. Then you're going to have to pay gas and hydro for the utilities. That's probably about another $200 total, maybe $250. And then renter's insurance, that's probably about $40 a month. And then you've got that's what's left for your food. That's two people and their dogs. That's why people are afraid to get legally married on ODSP. Yep. Yep. And select a boy. She's not, because $800 for a subsidized house in Windsor, that's awesome, because right now we're paying for our whole house. We're paying $1,800 and we're getting lucky. Like most houses this size would be about $2,600 a month plus utilities. So that's normal. And that's why nobody can survive on that, but they expect us to. And this is why, like, I'm trying really, really hard to get my monetization up on YouTube, like get it started on YouTube and all this, and busting my ass, because the disability and the child tax credit is not enough. And Pinkalo is a great provider, but I do not feel right about him busting his ass the way he does, like on top of having to do all the errands and all the stuff for the family. Like, that's not fair. So like, that's why I'm really trying to get my viewing hours up, like trying to make more videos, like I post videos every day, like make content and all this, so that I can at least get the monetization hours up. I've also got to that's why I have to also I have to come up with $200 this month for the streamlabs, the blindpress.net. So like, there's a lot of shit. Like, it's expensive up in Canada right now. Like, it's fucking crazy. So hit up that Streamlabs link, guys, blindpress.net.
They had
and
served,
play
but
my
not for
shit
people
in
with
tabs.
disabilities. People with disabilities have been put on the back burner.
We have.
And nobody gives a damn about them.
No, nobody
Disability
cares about
supports
us.
vary from province to
And
province.
nobody wants to hire it. That's the thing. That's the other thing, right? The social programs are not bolstered for today's living wages. So then people go, "Oh, we'll get a job." Fine. Hire me then, asshole. I would love to have a job. I would love to work. If I could do if I could work like 20 hours a week and then come home and do some streams and shit, that would be great. But no one will fucking hire me. So, yeah. Fuck you, Mr. Get a Job. Like, fuck, man. $1,500 for a 2,100 square foot house. Yeah, no, that's $1,500 will get you a shitty 2-bedroom apartment. Here.
On the low end, imagine surviving on $705 a month, as people with disabilities do in New Brunswick.
Holy
Or how about
shit.
living on $1,358 a month in Vancouver, where the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment is $2,500.
Yeah, $2,500 for a 1-bedroom apartment in Vancouver.
The most recent numbers from Statistics Canada reveal 41% of Canadians living under the poverty line have a disability.
Yep.
That's more than 1.5 million people, about the population of Montreal.
That is because for the longest time, the Ontario Disability Support Program and other disability support programs across the country are woefully underfunded by both provincial and federal governments. And I am very much concerned that if this federal disability benefit gets put into place, that the provinces will just claw it back dollar for dollar. Holy shit! In the U.S., Gunfox says welfare rats make more than I do, and I make about $1,200 a week. Well, I don't know about welfare, but I know disabled people in the States, and they don't make very much money.
Our social assistance rates place people with disabilities below the poverty line, approximately 25% below the poverty.
Yeah, like not just below it, like way below it. Like it's way up there, right? We're way the fuck down here, right? Like it's yeah.
So honestly, this is legislated poverty
It
for
is.
people with disabilities. This is the kind of care that's needed.
Dr. Nahid Dasani is a palliative care physician and professor of community and family medicine at the University of Toronto. He gave us a tour of the East Toronto neighborhood where he offers street-based care, often to people with disabilities living in poverty.
Street-based care? What does that even mean? I'm confused. It's because all the money goes to illegal aliens. Ah. Well, that makes sense.
Many of the people we care for are dealing with serious illnesses, but often they're very sick because of their social circumstances. There are significant health outcomes if we don't address those issues and treat those issues.
The result, Dr. Dosani is increasingly discussing MAID, or medical assistance in dying, with his patients.
That's sad.
Not necessarily because they want to die, but because they see no way out of the twin miseries of poverty and disability.
When people
That's sad. Like if you, like I said, and this is the sign of the family breakdown, because there's nobody in these people's families that are taking care of them. There's nobody helping each other. Nobody's helping each other. It's just fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Get a job. Budget better. Like no one's helping anybody. When did we all become sociopathic?
Living in such a situation where they're structurally placed in poverty. Is medical assistance in dying really a choice, or is it coercion?
Under Canada's first
Yeah,
medical
Gunfox,
assistance
you're right.
in dying law passed in 2016, a person's death had to be, quote, reasonably foreseeable to be approved. Last year, eligibility was expanded to people who have a, quote, serious and irreversible illness or disability that causes intolerable suffering. Now, people like Joni qualify. On social media.
And what are you going to do? What about your daughter? Joni, what are you going to do about your daughter? Blind, some families are so poor they can't help their family. No, I get it. But if, like, it can't be everybody. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can't be everybody that's like that. And it just feels like we've moved away from teaching our next generation how to be independent, but also how to come back and say, hey, mom and dad, I'm in a bind. I need some help. And it might not just be financial help. It might be like emotional help, physical help, like just a place to stay. And we've moved away from that empathy and that ability to help each other. And now we have parents that are just like, I'm raising my kids till they're 18 and then they can fuck off. And then we have kids that are like, fuck my parents, I'm dumping them in a home and I'm never coming to visit them. Like, it's horrifying. Yeah. How to be considerate. Yes. How to be considerate. How to understand that it's okay to ask for help. How to be humble and ask for help, and how to be empathetic and give help.
Constant conversation.
But almost everyone is like, yeah, I'm just kind of waiting to see, how it is in 6 months. Going to see how it is in 8 months. We'd like to make it to a year, but I don't think we're going to make it to a year. I cried a lot at night. I usually stay up a lot at night. I pray a lot.
In Medicine Hat, Alberta, Les Landry is contemplating MAID and leaving behind his beloved service dog, Annie. Les has been growing steadily poorer and more desperate since his career as a truck driver was derailed more than a decade ago.
Oh, if you've got COPD, you can't drive truck and you can't lift loads, and yeah.
Disability can happen to anyone at any time. I was doing good. I was making good money, 80, 85 grand a year.
Yeah.
I developed a hernia. And then that's when the surgery happened. That's when the blood pressure went out of control. That's when I developed epilepsy and the 3 mini strokes, and things just fell apart. Good girl.
On Alberta's disability program, Les was receiving $1,685 a month, plus benefits for his service dog, special diet, and medications.
This is my blister pack.
Along with timely donations from strangers on Twitter, he was just scraping by.
That's for a week.
Then in May, he turned 65.
Oh, shit. Which means there goes the benefits, and now you have to go on to CPP.
In the bureaucratic shuffle, he was transitioned from disability to senior status and actually lost some benefits.
Yeah, because again, with being a kid and being a senior, apparently you get less money because that makes sense somehow.
I am no longer a person with a disability. I am a senior citizen in poverty.
In the past, Les planned ahead, made extra payments on his bills.
Yeah.
But he's no longer able to
do that now
and is forced to rely even more on donations.
The big picture is if I didn't plan ahead and make them extra payments, I'd probably be homeless. I cannot live the rest of my life on the goodwill of friends on Twitter.
No.
Les, Joni, and many other disabled Canadians who share their stories with Global News say they aren't against medically assisted dying in principle, but they say Canada should have raised disability benefits before expanding access to it.
I agree. And it's like, it's a hard, stressful balancing act. Like, even for people like Pincolo and I are very lucky that he has the job that he has. But even he has to be careful how much money he makes, because then I get punished. And I could lose not only that little bit of money that I get, but I could lose access to my medication benefits. I could lose access to the dental benefits. And then if I lose access to those, our kids lose access to what's called the Smiles program. And like, it's scary and it's not fair. And we, just because we're disabled, shouldn't have to live like this. And just because I fell in love with somebody who is able-bodied doesn't mean that I should be punished for what he makes, because we're two separate people. Like, if you had a spouse and you both had a job, it wouldn't be fair for one person's job to punish them because they had a job, their partner had a job. The other problem is getting off the program is worse, says Pincolo. It's designed to never let you go. Yeah, it is. It literally is. It punishes you for being on it. It punishes you for having people in your family that work, but then it won't let you get off the program. So you're fucked if you do, and you're fucked if you don't.
Some disabilities and living in pain. They targeted people with disabilities and people with chronic pain. And I said, if you're going to do that, you have a responsibility to also.
And I mean, they threatened to audit us and recoup what they've already approved as an overpayment. Yeah.
Benefits.
Yeah, they did.
Increase the quality of life for people with disabilities, the people you are targeting.
We should prioritize healthcare and social support that promotes the human rights of all.
Trudeau Lemons is a professor of health law and policy at the University of Toronto. He has been warning the Canadian government for years that the speed and scope of its plans to expand access to assisted dying was a violation of the rights of disabled Canadians.
It is.
Out of a misplaced form of compassion, we think that persons with disabilities have a reason to end their life.
Yeah, and we don't. We don't. Just because we're disabled, we don't have the reason to end our lives. Okay? If you're terminally ill and you don't want to die in dignity, that's a different story. Right? But if you're disabled and poor, no.
Earlier than others. This basically is discriminatory.
Only about a dozen countries have legalized doctor-assisted death. Lemon says the few that allow it for patients who aren't terminally ill have stronger protections than Canada against coercion and suffering caused by poverty.
In my
like they have stronger checks and balances, like I was saying, need to happen here. So I just have to toe the line and limit my income. Yeah. And I have to get my ass in gear and make more content and just and hope to fuck that I get monetized by the new year, because after that, I don't know, like I'm gonna have to find something else to do.
If you were actually failing to implement even some of the most basic safeguards that at least exist in those countries.
Belgium and the Netherlands have had assisted dying since the early 2000s. In both countries, doctors are forbidden from suggesting it to patients.
Good.
They must also exhaust all other options before approving it.
We're getting rid of this idea that we'll first try the least interventionist measures. I find that actually quite extraordinary that we've forgotten, I think, the seriousness of ending the life of a person as a measure to relieve their suffering.
As Canada has opened up eligibility, the number of cases has shot up. In 2021, more than 10,000 Canadians opted for a medically assisted death. That's a 32% increase from the year before.
That's huge.
The numbers have increased faster here than any other country where it's legal, including the Netherlands and Belgium.
That's
so even
insane.
Though those countries have been practicing medical assistance in dying or euthanasia for 20 years, they are at the rate that we have after only a couple of years.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane to me.
There is no way of knowing how many of those deaths could have been avoided with the
We aren't broke. We're making it work.
We know there are some.
But that's also because we lived the way these people are being shown. So now the current financial collapse isn't so hard on us. Yes, that's true.
Reportedly opted for a medically assisted death because she couldn't afford appropriate housing. And in another troubling case, a Veterans Affairs employee suggested it to a veteran who was seeking help for PTSD and a traumatic brain injury.
Often I hear arguments, well, this is not impacting that many people.
Bullshit.
You know what?
It
If
is.
it affects one person, that's way too many people. We need to do something about that.
The controversy surrounding MAID is not going away. In March, the government plans to expand access yet again to include people with mental illnesses.
Oh my God. No.
More support may be coming. A new Canada Disability Benefit is before Parliament for the second time. It was dropped last year when a federal election was called. But Joni and Les are skeptical. We already know seniors will not be eligible.
Not to mention, are the provinces going to claw that shit back? Dollar for fucking dollar.
This government has a history on how they treat people with disabilities.
Yep.
18 to 65. Well, that excludes me and anybody in my situation.
So sorry. Please speak up to your member of parliament, to your members of provincial parliament.
CMHA went the extreme route to help with the shortage.
For their disability.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
I
just can't see me living like this for the rest of my life.
That's fucking, that makes me so angry. That we're doing, like, that this is a thing. Like, that's just messed up. Let's see. All right, let's do something that's less depressing. And then I'm going to go eat my food because my food is here and I'm starving. Okay. Let's see. We're going to take a look at this little girl here who is what's it called? Where is this link? Jerk. All right, we're just gonna have to go open the news page. Okay. Let's close that. Close that. Okay. Where is the share button? Where is the share button? Okay, here we go. Oops, I did the wrong thing. Oops, I shared the StreamYard page. I need to stop sharing. Hold on. I screwed up. I done messed up. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Window. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Meet Sadia Page, 11-year-old visually impaired San Francisco girl who spreads awareness about her disabilities. On Blindness Awareness Month, a visually impaired San Francisco girl is raising awareness about her disability. Sadia Page, a 11-year-old visually impaired girl, says it's a month to celebrate people like her. And cold Taco Bell is gross. It is. It is gross. She has a large Instagram following. She sings. I like to sing and play the piano in what she calls her blindness song. I was blind with septo-optic dysplasia, which for me makes me completely blind. She then goes on to sing that she likes to do things like that other kids do. Wait, she's singing this? I'm confused. This is a very badly laid out story. It sounds like she's singing this. It makes me very confused. Anyway, so this is just an inspiration porn article for Meet the Blind Month. I hate that. I really do. This, like, the kids that get used for shit like that makes me angry. I don't like it. And I can tell because I've been used as that before, and it sucks. All right, guys. Sorry for this being a short stream, but I'm fucking starving, and I really don't want cold Taco Bell. So I'm gonna head up and go eat. I will be I will be live tomorrow morning on Twitch, and I'll be doing Beat the Blind Girl. So I hope you guys will come and watch. And I'll be back on Wednesday with Wacky Wednesday. So I will see you guys then. Have a fantabulous Turkey Day if you're in Canada. I'll see you later. Bye.